Tal, you just spoke here at Transform 2024 on harnessing data for mapping smart buildings. What do you mean by that?
Well, look, the whole environment of smart buildings is really quite an interesting one. When you look at these days at buildings today, about 80% of the buildings that will be in use in 2050 are actually built already, they're here now, right? And so when you think about that, actually, it's going to be a big activity around retrofitting, taking smart infrastructure, IoT sensors, and retrofitting existing buildings. And so what we do is we actually map buildings, and we actually build on top of that mapping wayfinding experience, and so leveraging those two technologies together will actually create a common lexicon, which people are used to these days when it comes to mapping, right? They want to see a map, and so taking that lexicon for a smart building will make those IoT sensors a lot more user-friendly.
Now, if I may, for folks that are not into this business, into this vertical, when you say wayfinding, what do you mean by that?
So when you're typically getting around in a city or in transport, or you're using wayfinding solutions, some form of sat-nav or Google Maps or one of these technologies, well, the same thing can actually happen inside a building, right? Actually, that's what Pointr brings to the fore. We actually help companies and people to wayfind inside the build environment.
Ah, okay. Now, I'm a technology guy.
Yeah.
What technology do you use to, I heard you saying ingest the data?
Right, yeah. So we actually take what is commonly known as a floor plan or a CAD drawing, and we take that data into our AI-based solution and actually produce these maps. And we're doing that at scale. We're taking thousands and thousands of square feet or meters of building space and actually converting them into a map. And we're doing that in minutes, not days, not months. It's actually happening really quickly. This is incredibly imperative in today's environment.
Okay. Now, what technology is there? AI or what's involved here?
So our AI, everybody's got their own version of AI. This is not a Gen AI format. This is actually supervised learning. Our AI is actually taking data and understanding what that CAD drawing is actually saying. That a chair is a chair and a wall is a wall. And knowing that 4 walls and a door is a room, that's actually, it sounds intuitive to us, but actually teaching the machine to actually know what that is.
That's quite difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. And then actually take it a step further. A big table with a number of chairs around it is actually a meeting room, or in a higher education environment that a lot of chairs and a stage is a lecture hall, or in a healthcare environment that a small desk and a chair with a bed is an examination room. And doing that all automatically as using artificial intelligence is incredibly powerful.
Hence you can ingest
massive amounts of data and actually produce those maps without any manual intervention.
Now, we're here at Siemens Transform. I understand you integrate with their Building X.
Yeah.
How in what way?
Yeah, I can tell you about that. So what we're really excited about now that we're integrated with Building X is that, first of all, that map ingestion can happen within the Siemens Building X platform. Okay. You can actually upload all your floor plans and provide them via Siemens Building X to Pointr, and then within less than a day you'll have that map back and ready to go, and you can actually access all that data. And the second part is Building X is taking all that those IoT data points from the sensors and the infrastructure, and it's actually exposing it to Pointr, and then we can leverage that data and layer it over a map. And as I mentioned before, we're going through this kind of shift where people are expecting to see things displayed in a map. The map is that common lexicon that we all have, right? When you're thinking about the built environment, you're thinking about it geographically speaking, you want to see this data lit on a map, and it makes a lot more sense. So this is what we actually term the map first inflection, right? Where people are expecting to see, think about it kind of like your homepage, right? Yeah. Your homepage for your built environment is actually the map, and then layering all that data overlaid on the map is actually incredibly powerful.
And if, having listened to your session, obviously the use cases here, I'm in a hospital, I want to find out where to go. I'm not familiar with the place.
Right.
The map,
right.
I can use
you can use the map,
way around.
And different personas can use the map in different ways. So if you think about it, the healthcare environment, a patient who needs to find their doctor's appointment needs to be able to wayfind. And a healthcare environment is very complex. There are old buildings connected to new buildings. There's a lot of construction. There's a maze, and having that wayfinding within the building can be incredibly powerful. But then you think about the staff as well. You have people who are working in shifts, or the contract employees, so they may not know the facility. They also need to be able to to communicate about an area within a mapping environment. And if everybody, including maintenance staff, if the facilities manager, sustainability, energy, if you take all those different folks and you actually give them the same map, with different data points, right? They have a common lexicon. They can actually communicate with each other using that same reference point. And that is incredibly powerful. You're not talking past each other anymore. You're using that geographic reference as your data point, as your starting point.
Now, your ability to ingest massive amount of the floor plans.
Yes.
But I suppose in today's world, change is the name of the game.
Absolutely.
What happens when I change my layout?
So that's a big part of the problem, right? Doing it once isn't good enough because floor plans are changing, environments are changing constantly. We actually have a customer who changes their floor plans every week. They have more than 2,000 facilities, and so we're ingesting all those floor plans, more than 2,000 floor plans every week, and updating the maps. And that's incredibly important because if you are wayfinding in that experience and you're not going to the right place, that's it. You're going to quit and not go back, right? So not go back to that map or to that experience. So if you have to ensure that it's accurate, and so the accuracy is enabled by the artificial intelligence that we implement to actually keep those maps updated. You don't have enough humans actually to be able to update those 2,000 or so maps, right? There really aren't enough resources out there, and that's where AI is actually coming to the fore in terms of Pointr.
It's got to be automated.
It's got to be automated, yeah.
And reliable.
Exactly.
Last question.
Please.
Obviously, you're part of Siemens Xcelerator.
Yeah.
From the Pointr perspective.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you?
It's incredibly powerful. We are a scale-up company, and we're working with some great retailers and healthcare providers, higher education, many different verticals. But in order to really get the word out into the market about this innovation, working with companies like Building X and being part of the Xcelerator program really helps to bring that education out to the market, and we're really excited about it.
Hey, good stuff. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you, Kevin.